Hey guys, Wilson here. And first and foremost, I'd like to apologise for my beard at the moment. I'm deciding whether to trim it, shave it, or grow it out. So bear with me. Today, I'm going to be presenting the Fat Burner Starter Kit. This is a great plan to get you on your way and start your journey onto some phenomenal results. And I'm not talking about just a little bit of results and then you revert back to old ways. I'm really going to go deep down, peel the onion, and figure out what's causing your fat loss and what we need to do and what we need to implement to ensure that we succeed. So let's move on to that, guys. Let's start with, I want to start with your steps to success. Then we'll move on to nutrition, and then we'll move on to training. So I've prepared a mind map here for you, which I'm actually going to give you as a download. You can print off and keep it handy, so you can just look over it and keep your mind on form. So number one on the steps for success is to love yourself. Okay. Now I don't mean wearing makeup and pouncing around like your Beyonce or anything like that. I mean love you for who you are and not what society tells you to be. Okay. So love you for exactly who you are and not what the magazines tell you to be. Because as I say, from a very, very early, women get this the worst. Okay. Because when they're teenagers, from a very young age, they're showing magazines, papers, and all the girls are talking about it, and they're told that they've got to look a certain way for a guy to find them attractive. Okay, that is harsh. Okay, so and it's all false as well, because at the end of the day, it comes down to genetics. You're given a stereotypic way of how you're supposed to look, but your genetics can't actually make up that look. You can't actually achieve that look. You can be the best version of yourself, and that is all you can ever be. I can give you abs. I can get rid of the cellulite. I can get rid of the belly overhang, and I can tone your arms and make you from inside out feel your best and be healthy. Okay, I can do all that for you, but you can't look like somebody who you're not. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is love ourselves, else we are always setting ourselves up for failure. Okay, so step number one, love yourself. Step number two, for steps for success, I want you to write down 4 to 5 goals every 5 to 7 days. Now, let me tell you the difference between a behavior goal and an outcome goal. An outcome goal is great. It's like the destination that we want to get to. But outcome goals are very often long-sighted. Okay, an outcome goal would be, I want to be 5 stone lighter. I want to run a marathon. Okay, I want to get into size 10 jeans. Okay, and oftentimes, because it's so big of a goal, which is great, we need a vision. We need to think big. Because it's such a big goal, we lose motivation. And you probably put your hand up for this. 5 days, 10 days in, 15 days in, 20 days in, we're just completely lost motivation because the vision that we're focusing on is too far out of reach. We're not getting consistent wins to keep us motivated. And to stay motivated, the success to stay motivated are small, consistent wins. So to achieve that, we want small, consistent goals that we can achieve. So an outcome goal is a vision. However, behavior goals are more important because behavior goals get you to that vision. So micro goal your success, micromanage your success. Behavior goals would sound like this. For example, I will attend 3 workouts each week for the next 4 weeks, or I will eat breakfast every day for the next 4 weeks, or I will go to bed by 10:30 every day for the next 10 days. All these goals are great, healthy goals to have that push us in the right direction to our outcome goal, our big vision. But these little steps, because they've got a small time frame, because we can do them daily, a consistent win. So it consistently keeps us in that winning mentality. And that is so, so important for your success. Okay, so behavior goals. Set 4 to 5 every 5 to 7 days behavior goals. Do that now. Write out your weekly meals and shopping lists. I'm going to talk more about nutrition in just a moment's time for the best fat loss success you've ever achieved. But write down your weekly meals. every Sunday. Make it your Sunday ritual. Rituals are great. Healthy rituals are great because they keep your mind on form. And just write down your 7-day plan, okay? And then from those recipes, write down the shopping list that you're going to need to, and then stick to that shopping list when you go to the supermarket. And don't get anything else on that shopping list. Anything that's not on that shopping list, don't purchase it. Because when you go to supermarkets, they want you to buy, and they want you to buy the bulk, cheap, quick calorie foods, okay? Because they make the most profit on those kind of foods. So the donuts, the cookies, the cakes, you know, the value pack crisps and 20% extra cereal. They want you to buy that stuff, okay? Because it's cheap and quick. It's the ingredients used to make these foods are so low cost, okay? They can sell lots of it, bulk it. So get out the habit of thinking quantity equals value, quality equals value, okay? And so stick to everything that's on your shopping list. And here's a quick tip for you as well. Never go to a supermarket on a hungry stomach, okay? Because if you go to a supermarket when you are hungry, you will purchase something that will be a quick hit, you know, feed. So when you get in the car, you buy that bag of donuts and you wolf them down because you need, you know, when we're hungry, we become like a caveman. That inner caveman comes out of us. We become ravenous and we want to eat. So we buy the donuts, we get in the car and we eat them, and we feel that need to eat, but then boom, we get hit by that guilt, and we're like, man, I've just ruined that diet. So let's stop relying on willpower and start getting smart. Let's not go to the supermarket hungry, and you prevent that from ever happening. I'm going to talk to you in a moment. I'm going to talk to you now about emotional eating. So emotional eating, let me tell you why emotional eating happens. First and foremost, this is going to be a big success tip for many of us, because put your hand up right now if you do emotional eating. Well, emotional eating is related, it's correlated to stress, and that is there's no wonder why it is related to stress. When you were little, it's hardwired into us, you see. When we were little, when we were babies, when we would cry, when we would get upset, our mother would have given her teat, and we would have drank the milk from the teat, okay? We would have had her milk whenever we cried, whenever we got hungry. So we connected being hunger or stressed to something sweet, mother's milk, okay? As we grew older, I hope anyway, you shouldn't be 6, 7 years old and you're still sucking on the teat. You would have changed the milk, your mother's milk, to sweets. When we started to cry, our mum would give us sweets. Yeah, so we sucked on a sweet and we stopped crying, okay? So all throughout our whole lifetime, we grew up, when we got stressed, when we got uncomfortable, okay, started crying, we would comfort eat, okay? We'd eat something sweet. And as we grew into our teens and we got stressed through teenage pressure, through you got to look this certain way, or exams and all this, okay, we would have comforted you. We would have reached for the ice cream and the chocolate, and it was in the house, so we would eat it. We would have reached for those sweet foods. So emotional eating is triggered to being stressed. So what you need to do to conquer this is figure out what your triggers are, okay? Figure out what your triggers are. So what is stressing you? Is it work? Is it relationship? Is it finances? Is it a friend or something like that? Is it a bad trauma that's happened to you in the past? Figure out what it is, and then either stay away from those triggers, okay, or eliminate them. Manage your time better. Manage your finances better. Leave the partner who's causing you all the stress, okay? Because I'm telling you now, if you're in a bad relationship, you're not going to be getting lean, okay? So eliminate those triggers. Stay away from those triggers, or manage those triggers. And then one final thing I want to add to you as well with emotional eating is coconut oil. 1 teaspoon coconut oil. I love this stuff. You'll hear me talk about it a lot. When you're cooking, you want to eat good fats, and good fat is your coconut oil. It's actually a saturated fat. People think saturated fats are bad. No, saturated fats form the cells, the cell membrane of every single trillions of cells that make you who you are. So if you want healthy cells, all we are is a bundle of cells. If you want healthy cells, you need saturated fats. Coconut oil is your good saturated fat. It's your hydrogenated trans fats that you want to stay away from. Now, there's actually an acid found in coconut oil, which is similar to an acid found in your mother's milk. So there's a connection there. But the key thing with coconut oil is the medium chain triglycerides, MCTs, or good fats, which we want in our diet, is going to give us a constant supply of energy. So we're not going to get the sugar spikes and crashes. Get on the coconut oil, you will notice your carb cravings go away, and it helps with the emotional hunger as well as a list of other health benefits. So get yourself a glass jar of coconut oil. Whenever you buy oils, guys, always go for the glass jars, because the plastic in the oils stand on the shelves for a long period of time. And over time, especially when it's in a heated environment, the plastics from the container start to leach into the oil. And that is massive toxin. And I'm going to teach you all about detoxing, guys. But you want to eliminate toxins to get rid of stubborn body fat and make sure you're the healthiest you can possibly be. Don't worry right now if any of this is going up. You can watch this video back as many times as you like, and you've got this printout which I'll be giving to you. So there's your that's how to tackle emotional hunger, guys. I want you to clear out the fridge and the cupboards, because if you own it, you will eat it. I want you to build a support system that's friends, a group, or a team of like-minded and supportive people who want the best out of you and who want to take you to that next level. Now, we have the winning environment down at Fat Burner Bootcamp. If you're fortunate to be in our area, get on board Fat Burner Bootcamp, because it is the most supportive community that you will ever find. Until you've experienced it, you won't understand it. You're going to have a great time in the workouts, and not only down at the workouts, but offline, at home, online. You're going to have some wonderful support 24/7. You post a question in our group, you get an answer straight away. So make sure you surround yourself with the right kind of people who are trying to achieve the same goal as you, which is what you get down at our camp. Be aware, guys, I'm adding this into here, is be aware, let me just move this down here. Be aware of friends who will keep you in your comfort zone to maintain theirs. So whenever you try and do something awesome, you often find somebody tries to hold you back. If you're trying to better yourself, you'll often find somebody tries to hold you back, and they'll say, come on, live a little, everything in moderation is okay, or just have one's not going to hurt. Yeah, and they might become very jealous. And the reason why, and oftentimes it's your close friends and family that will do this, is because you're getting lean and in great shape and you're improving your whole world. Yeah, I always say, don't moan about something if you're not prepared to change it. So if you're moaning about your weight, if you're moaning about your life as it is at the moment, you've only got one life. Make it the best life. Make and become the best version of yourself. But people close to you will do these things to hold you back because they're scared. They want to hold you in your comfort zone by telling you that everything in moderation is okay. Eat something and have one, because they want to maintain their comfort zone, because they're scared you're going to become better than they are and leave them behind. It's true, man, and it'll be the closest people to you. So I've just added that in there as well. Beware of your friends who will keep you in your comfort zone to maintain theirs. And all you need to do is limit your time with them. Again, going back to, surround yourself with like-minded people. You become the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. So if you're spending time with somebody that is always moaning about people, he's always bitching about people, he's always moaning about finances, he's always moaning about, their weight or whatever, and instead they're not looking for the little gems that you have got, but you're just not focusing on, your life, that you're woken up today, that you've got 2 legs, that you can move, that you've got family, that you actually live in a country, if you're in the UK, that actually, we're not in a third world, that we've got food, we've got more food access than ever, you've actually got these accessibilities, you've got a land of an opportunity if you're in the UK. You're not focusing on these things. So focus on the right spend your time with the right kind of people, and your world will change, I promise you this. Obviously we can't limit our time with our family. Well, we can't just cut off our family, because we've got to be there. We've got to be supportive. We've got to be their inspiration if they're down or whatever. But you've got to look after yourself, because you won't ever be able to help anybody else. And I've learned this recently, because I burnt myself out, and I was waking up late in the mornings, okay, because I was just burnt out. You're no use to anybody if you don't look after yourself. Your health comes first, and if your health comes first, you can look after everybody else's health. So yeah, big one. And now my steps for success. Let's move on to nutrition. So I want to tell you what you should not be eating, okay? Wheat, okay? First and foremost, this is the cheat sheet. This is the quick way to get the best results you're ever going to achieve. However, chase one rabbit at a time, okay? If you chase 2 rabbits, you won't catch it. If you chase 1 rabbit, you will catch it. So first tackle your goals. First focus on small little goals. Then step up your nutrition and just implement the things over a period of time. Off the bat, if you do everything in one go for 28 days, you're going to see a wonderful result. You know what? But what happens after those 28 days? Do you just stop because you didn't really, was it just a real challenge? Or did you slowly introduce things? Is a better way of doing things so you get that long-lasting result. Okay, so don't worry if, cutting out wheat and pasta bread and all this, especially when we're in a world, a weight loss industry where they want to sell you your low-calorie stuff and all this nonsense and that. They're low-calorie biscuits, and you think that's great. We're often bombarded, and our heads are filled up with a lot of crap. Well, this is the cheat sheet to get you the fastest results. So when you're ready, do it. But don't be overwhelmed by it or anything like that. Just one step at a time, one rabbit at a time. So I want you to cut out foods. I want you to cut out wheat. Wheat will actually make us nose or our sinuses really blocked. Notice we get a lot of mucus, breathing difficulties, as well as a bloated belly. Nobody can digest gluten protein, okay, which is what's found in wheat. So we want to actually cut out wheat and gluten. And when you do this, you'll notice some wonderful things with your body. When we do eat them, your body actually gives out an autoimmune response, which is your body's way of not understanding what wheat is. It sees it as a foreign body, so it sends out the runny nose, the blocked nose, and all these hives. Some people come out with in hives, the bloated belly, because the intestines don't like what you're putting in, the wheat that you're putting in. So let's cut out wheat, and you'll notice some wonderful things. And a great book that I'll add into this is Wheat Belly. If you go onto Amazon and look for a book called Wheat Belly, read, you'll understand what I'm trying to talk about right here. So yeah, get yourself Wheat Belly on your Kindle or buy the book. Dairy. So dairy's cow's milk is actually 20 times more protein than our own natural milk that was designed for humans. Obviously, you don't need to suck on your mom's teat anymore because you can chew food, okay? And your mom wouldn't be very happy if you start chewing her nipple off, would she? So we can now eat foods. You no longer need meat, so you no longer need milk. However, goat's milk is okay because goat's milk is similar to human's milk, okay? But cow's milk is 20 times more protein. It's great for bodybuilders because they're going to get bigger. But we don't want to get bigger. We want to get leaner. We want to drop fat, right? But not only that, the real issue with cow's milk is firstly the way that the cattle's treated. Because if it's an unhappy animal, a lot of stress hormone in that animal, in that milk, is then going to go into you, okay? Which is no good for you, all right? It's like a circle of life, okay? It's the homogenization of milk. Homogenization is basically, it's milk's pressed down into like this sieve, and the fat molecules split, and when you then drink it, your body doesn't recognize it. Your gut won't recognize what this molecule is. It's been split, the fat molecule's been split, and it sees it as a foreign body. Again, you get that autoimmune response. You get runny nose, mucus. Casein, which is found in milk, is actually glue. The stuff that's holding your chairs together right now is made from casein, okay, which is found in milk. So we actually get this mucus from casein as well, which is no good. and it sits in your gut, casein does, and oftentimes it actually binds onto nutrients, so the nutrients don't actually go into your cells, they get lost in the casein, which is no good for us. So I want you to cut out cow's milk and cheese. Goat's milk and cheese is going to be okay. So certainly shoot for those to get your what we want from milk is vitamin K. Okay, so I'm not saying completely cut out dairy altogether. I'm just saying cut out your cow's milk as we go through this process of eliminating. Oftentimes you'll notice that you're probably lactose intolerant. And the other problem with cow's milk is pasteurization. Raw milk is a lot better, but what happens with pasteurization is the milk is heated at such high temperatures that the enzymes needed, lactase, the enzyme needed to break down lactose, milk, sugar, is killed off. So you haven't actually got the enzymes to break down the sugar, okay, which causes all sorts of problems as well. And then it kills off the good and the bad bacteria. Okay, so then you need the good bacteria, you need the alcohol to get the good bacteria. So you're not actually getting milk per se. So yeah, go for whole goat's milk if you're going to go for milk. Okay, your other alternatives are almond milk, rice milk, oats milk. Although almond and oat milk, so rice and oat milk tend to be quite high in carbohydrates. So if you're trying to drop fat, go for the almond or the coconut milk. Is superb. If you're a guy trying to put on muscle, then you can shoot for the rice and the almond milk post workout. It'd be ideal. Talk more about when to eat in a moment as well. Alcohol has got to go. It's just liquid calories, and we can consume so much of it. It's just going to be stored as body fat, screwing up your metabolism, spiking up your sugar, and it's an absolute no if you're looking to get lean. Now, you know what? From time to time, you're going to drink, and I advise that you do drink. Good times come with it. Good drinks, but we want to make sure that we are first and foremost. It was serious, and we want to get the best result possible. Alcohol has got to go. For a good 28-day period. I don't want to work with anybody that isn't prepared to cut out alcohol. You've probably spent 10 years, every weekend having a drink. Okay, so what's 4 weeks? What's 28 days to get into go from good to great? Yeah, get a tremendous result instead of just getting average results. Okay, and caffeine's got to go as well. The reason being is caffeine is a stimulant. It stresses out your adrenal glands, and whenever you drink a cup of coffee, you will dump a lot of sugar into the blood. Now, if we're sat down at a desk working or driving, whatever we tend to do with our 9-to-5 jobs, is a lot of sugar gets dumped in the blood, but we don't actually burn it off. Now, if you're an athlete and having caffeine before you go on the sprint track, yeah, to stimulate yourself, you're going to be burning off that sugar that's going to be dumped into the body. But if you're at a desk or whatever, you're not actually active and you're drinking coffee just to wake you up, then it is an absolute no because you're just going to be storing body fat like crazy. It's very acidic for the diet. Into the diet, and at the same time, if you're overweight by 10 pounds or more, your body is stressed. Okay, and we want to detoxify the liver. We want to recover the adrenal glands and get stressed down. Okay, so caffeine for a good 28 days is going to be a no until the fat starts coming off and we're not stressed. So let me just add is a no if you're stressed, and if you're overweight, you're stressed. Okay, and sugar is an absolute all out no. Okay, so now we talked about what we should not be eating. You're probably thinking, what's left? What can I eat? You know what? You're probably going to, over this process, actually introduce a lot of foods that you've never heard of before and are going to totally blow you away. So I want you drinking clean water, about 2 to 3 litres per day. And obviously we want it to be clean water because certainly in the Midlands, not everywhere in the UK, but in the Midlands, there's fluoride in your tap water. And fluoride will actually strip your thyroid gland. Your thyroid regulates your metabolism and it strips it of iodine, okay? And if it can't regulate, then you get brain fog and then you get slow metabolism. It's great. Fluoride was actually introduced the very first time, get this, fluoride was introduced into water. Hitler the Nazis put water in their concentration camps. okay, concentration camps. They would put fluoride in the water to make their prisoners, okay, docile. What the hell is that doing in the water in the Midlands? Okay, mass control or what? They put it in the water. So you can have a little think about that and do your research about that and see what the hell are they putting in. They say it's about, I swear, your health. This is the key for your health. You've got to take it into your own hands, okay? Because there is no money to be made with healthy people. The pharmaceutical companies who govern doctors, tell you what, you know, the pharmaceutical companies who want to sell medicines, there's no money for them to be made. Fast food companies that sponsor the Olympics and football, you know, and your soft drinks, your fizzy drinks and all this, all these fast food outlets, there's no money to be made in healthy people, is there? And your businesses know this. So you've really got to take it into your own hands, and this is where all the confusion is about your health. So you've got to, you know, this is the cheat sheet to your fast track health. But you're really going to have to go down the road of studying it yourself and learning it for yourself and reading things that I'm going to make it easy for you by sending out you articles, etc. and videos like this one to make it easier for you to sink in. But this is what I'm about. You know, I'm a bit of a renegade because it's the reason why there are so many overweight people in this world, in the Western world, just ain't right. And the reason it comes down to the way that things are working. So I've got to go. I'm observing the masses and going against the opposite, and giving and researching and studying and putting a lot of money into what I do, and then bringing it to you. So clean water is the first one. You can eat unlimited veggies and fruits. Okay. So this is going to be where you're going to get all your nutrients, your minerals. I actually want you having about a 50-50 split, so 50% cooked, 50-50 cooked and raw. And the reason being, so with your veggies, you could have some raw carrot sticks every single day, 50-50, because you actually break down the enzymes when we cook our food. We actually break down the enzymes. So I want you to have about 50% cooked, 50% raw. Okay? With your veggies as well, let me add another one. You got so much to work with here. Your green veggies, i.e. your spinach, watercress being the best one because it's got more indole 3 carbanols. I'll explain what that is another time. If you suffer with thigh fat, ass fat, ladies, hip fat, you want to really up those greens. Fellas, you got man boobs, if you got bellies, you want to up those greens. You know, good. I say I'll tell you about my measurements in just a moment's time, but about 2 fists worth of greens in every meal. Spinach, watercress, rocket, kale, broccoli. You know, these are what you want to go for. Let's move that over here. Okay, running out of room, man. All right. Your lean meat, poultry, fish, and offal. Okay, offal, man. I'm telling you, eat kidneys and hearts here. You know, but and liver. And as vile as it is, there's a lot of nutrients in them. Again, go for grass-fed where possible. You know what? It's not essential. You know, you've got to go what your budget says. Don't let that hold you back if you can't, you know, purchase grass-fed. But you actually need to eat less grass-fed meats, and it is so much better for you. Remember when I was telling you about if a cattle is stressed, okay, because it's confined, then that stress hormone goes into you. You want to go for grass-fed because if it's constantly eating, you know, like a pig, well, pig's the worst. If you're going to eat pork, you've got to go grass-fed. Because a pig will eat anything that's put in front of it. And oftentimes, some farmers feed pigs absolute awful things and it goes back inside of you. Circle of life kind of thing. So with pigs, it's got to be grass-fed as far as I'm concerned. Chicken, you can get like, like corn-fed. But ideally, when you can, go for grass-fed organic. Is because you don't want it being treated. Did I do that? You don't want the hormones because the hormones go into you. And oftentimes if you actually shop at a butcher's and a farm shop, you will get cheaper food. Okay, so your Fat Burner Bootcamp, you'll get discount down at Hayheads. But if you'll get cheaper meat, and your veg will be cheaper, especially at Airheads, and it'll last you a longer time. The veggies will last you all week instead of going to the supermarket and you got to throw them out after a day because they've rotted because they've been in transportation. Your local stuff, your local produce will be a lot better for you. Nuts and seeds. So lots of variety that we can eat. And here's one that I want you to take in. Your gluten-free carbs. So we're not having wheat and pasta and all this, but you could have rice or rice pasta or sweet potatoes or white potatoes. Now these are going to be best for post-workout or breakfast. Only if you are a man. For men, if you're lower than 20% body fat. Ladies, if you're lower than 30% body fat. So only eat these gluten-free carbs if, ladies, you're lower than 30% body fat, and men, you are lower than 20% body fat. And this is for post-workout, which is the perfect time to eat your carbs, or for breakfast. And then let's go into when to eat. I want you to eat 3 times per day, no later than 6 p.m, and each meal spaced out by 6 hours. Here's why I want you to do this. Every time you eat, you increase insulin. Insulin is the hormone that is responsible for breaking down food and storing it. So if we're constantly high with insulin, you're going to be constantly in a fat storing mode. Okay? We want to be fat burning. So if we want to be fat burning, we want periods of hunger when insulin is low. Okay, do you get me? If we're constantly eating a meal and then snacking or grazing throughout the day or doing the, eat small and often, 6 meals a day, great if you're a bodybuilder because you're constantly, insulin's high, you're constantly going to be building muscle and getting big. Okay, but we don't want to be storing fat. Men, because they have a higher density of muscle tissue, will be able to deal with carbohydrates a lot better. So men should be eating more or could be, if they're lower than 20% body fat, be eating more carbohydrates than females. Now, let me just touch on something. You don't want to do low carbohydrates all the time. Fat is actually burned in a carbohydrate flame. But you see, when we were going back to your veggies, a lot of your carbohydrates and your fruits are going to be coming from here, as opposed to going for your gluten-free carbs, like your rice, sweet potatoes, and things like that. Okay, introduce those when your body fat comes down, and then as you got more muscle tissue, your body's going to be, and that's why your workouts are absolute key, because we want to be developing muscle tissue. Sometimes when people do low-calorie diets, they end up looking right in clothes, they look great in all the right places, their arms and legs, but around the belly they've got a spare tire, yeah? And this is called the skinny fat syndrome, because they've lost their muscle tissue. It starts to store around their organs, because your body thinks it's going to be starved. So low-calorie diets, long period, you don't want to do them. And so 3 meals per day, no later than 6 p.m. Here's why. When you go to bed at night, you want to increase growth hormone. Over in Hollywood, they're spending like $3,000 per injection of growth hormone that's been pulled out of somebody's body and then injected into them. That's gross, and it's very, very expensive. You can do it naturally if you get your sleep right and you get your diet right, nutrient timing right. So we want to, in an ideal world, 6 p.m., as close to 6 p.m. as you can. We want to be going to bed on an empty stomach. So if you're working late, eat, let's say you're eating at 8:30, okay? Eat something real easily digestible. Don't have like a steak, because the fats it's gonna take longer to digest. But something like a white fish, tilapia fish, a bit of cod, and a nice salad is going to break down a lot quicker and a lot easier for you, and it'll be a nice nutrient dense meal, as opposed to the steak. So try to go to bed on an empty stomach, because if you want to increase growth hormone during your sleep, that's when it wants to increase. When you're sleeping, and you're going to recover, and growth hormone is going to drop body fat, increase lean muscle tissue, tone, and make your skin more youthful looking, and make you more energy, your libido will go up. Then we've got to be on an empty stomach, because every time we eat, insulin increases. Okay, the antichrist of growth hormone is insulin. So if you go to bed on a full stomach, insulin's high, growth hormone won't ever peak. Okay, so go to bed on an empty stomach. And when you wake up, you should be ravenously hungry. And then the perfect time to work out would be an early morning workout, like 6:15 or 7 o'clock down at camp. You preload the bloods on amino acids, so you're not going to lose protein. And then you go to the workout, and about 45 minutes after that workout, get a good nutrient-dense meal. So, 3 meals a day, spaced out 6 hours in between, no snacking. If you want a snack, like from my snack book, or you want a piece of fruit, have it with that meal, like a dessert. So here's how much to eat. About a palm size of protein per meal. Chicken, poultry, meat, offal, eggs, anything like that. Lentils, you're a vegetarian, and goat's cheese, and then two fists of, in particular, cruciferous veg, green veggies, spinach, kale, broccoli, 2 fists of it, and then about a thumb or 1 to 2 tablespoons of fats. Now, your fats, and that's it. Okay, that is your meals made up. So, C, B, your ABCs. ABCs. So, with every meal, get your A, get your B, get your C. Okay, so your protein, your spinach, kale, broccoli, and also lots of other colours like onions, especially when you're detoxing. Red onions, okay, are great for detoxing. Lots of colour, carrots, reds, greens, and your purples. Get lots of colours. Lots of colours means lots of nutrients. But a real focus on your green veggies, because that's where the indole-3 carbonyls is. That's where we can get rid of the estrogen-related fat storage. And then your coconut oil with your fats. Olive oil, don't cook without olive oil. Only for dressings, extra virgin olive oil. Remember to get glass bottles. Your saturated fats you're going to get with cooking from meats, flax seeds, nuts and seeds. These are your fats that you want with every meal. And that's it, guys. That's your nutrition in a nutshell that I want you to follow. Again, I'll mention in a moment where you can ask me questions. Let's finish on training then, guys. So you want to be getting about 3 to 4 resistance-based workouts each week. You don't get results doing once or twice a week. We ask all our clients to commit to 3 times or more per week. Okay? Once you get 3 or 4 workouts or more a week, you're getting some fantastic results. And here's how your workout should last. It should be about 45 minutes in time, and they should be short and intense. Okay? So no more really than 45 minutes, but it should be intense. Okay? You shouldn't be there sitting on an exercise bike. Our clients oftentimes they come to us and they've been a long day at work, and they come to work out, they go to the gym and they're bored, they've got no inspiration, nobody to push them, and they sit down on the exercise bike texting, and they leave and think they've done something, but they really know deep down that they've not really done anything. And weeks later when they're not seeing the results, they become frustrated and they give up. So it's got to be intense but short. Okay, the workouts that I recommend are HIIT-based workouts or HIRT-based workouts. And your HIIT stands for high intensity interval training, and your HIRT is high intensity resistance training. So I've given you an example workout here. So for your HIIT training, it might look like push-ups, burpees, planks, squat jumps, reverse lunges, and bear crawls. You could YouTube those to figure out what they are, and do them for like back-to-back each exercise, 40 seconds on with a 20-second rest, and do them for about times 4, and probably have a minute's break in between each round. So do 4 rounds, and each round have a minute's water break. Okay, that'd be a typical HIIT program for you. Here's a resistance-based high-intensity training program. You could do like tire flips, and then power swings, which is basically a kettlebell swing done properly. So a power swing, what I like to call a power swing, a sled pull, a deadlift, explosive push-ups are great, so really attacking your push-ups, and tug of war, and doing this for 50 seconds on with a 10-second recovery period, and then followed by the next exercise, 10 seconds rest, next exercise, 50 seconds. Do that for 4 rounds. And that would be a badass workout that's going to get you some great results right there. In a nutshell, guys, okay? The wonderful benefit that you'll get with our workouts is that you're going to have such a fun time. And we do team training. So it's not like going alone on your own, you're going to get the most motivation. And somebody could be working at a 7, a level 7, you're down at a 5, and their 7, their enthusiasm is going to pull you up to a 7 themselves, and it takes you to the next level. Working as a team is the best way to work out. Sprints, if you want to get somebody lean, get them sprinting. And about 400 meter sprints done 8 times, a good long recovery in between each round. Let's say 5 minutes for each round is going to strip body fat off you, and have about a 30-minute warm up, and then go into the 400 meter sprints. Phosphates are brilliant as well, which we do down at boot camp. A great way, we use it sometimes as a finisher. A great way to just completely strip body fat off you like never before. So sprinting is a great way. And you know what? If you're struggling to sprint, or you can't move very well at the moment, you got to go find yourself a personal trainer who can start, strengthening your body, so you are doing the right things. And that's what the reason why, guys, as well, we have start dates and end dates down at Fat Burner Bootcamp is because regardless of your fitness levels, we progress you through the program instead of dropping you in the deep end. Your pay-as-you-go bootcamp or exercise class down the road doesn't do that. You turn up when you like. There's no commitment, there's no accountability, there's not a program like this, okay? So it's about progressing the client, as how it should be done. And then here's your recovery training. I want you to do about 20 to 40 minute walks 3 times per week. No phones, no music, just you, the birds, the trees, the wind, and the sunlight. Certainly in the winter time, if you suffer with SAD, seasonal affective disorder, you don't get enough sunlight. Getting a 20-minute walk in the afternoon, with some sunlight on your skin, is going to do you wonders for your mood and dropping body fat. Somebody who's got very pale skin will struggle with dropping body fat because your sun is effectively life. Your sun produces vitamin D, and that is one of the most fastest ways you can detoxify the body, but also strip body fat off you is sunlight. And if you have got pale skin and you're scared of the sunlight, then you've got to start supplementing with vitamin D. But the walking is just a great way of clearing your mind. We become too stressed, and if you're stressed, you're not going to be dropping body fat. So I want you to take a 20 to 40 minute walk 3 times a week, and just your chill out time. Ideally 12 o'clock when the sun is the highest and you get some sunlight. Foam rolling is a great way. I'm going to be talking more about getting rid of cellulite in the actual program. When you join Fat Burner Bootcamp, I'll tell you how to get rid of cellulite. And foam rolling is actually a way, or a piece of kit that I use to get rid of cellulite to get you ready for your party dress. It's also great for getting rid of tightnesses, adhesions. Oftentimes, we get tight calves, and it tends to be the right one, because if you drive a lot, you point your toe like this a lot, the calf gets tight. And if you go to bed at night and you sleep with your feet like this, yeah, your whole calf gets tight, your metatarsal gets tight, you wake up in the morning with pins and needles. It's another one of those that your foam rolling or stretching is going to help to alleviate that. I've also do a little technique called muscle flossing, but I'll teach you that another time. Yoga's great. Again, if we want to drop body fat, we've got to bring stress down, and yoga is superb for that, as well as getting the body moving. If your body's not moving, it's decaying. If your body's moving, it's growing. The day your body stops moving is the day that the tide pushes you out. Yeah? The day that you start, especially beyond 30 as well, the day that you start exercising, providing the right nutrients, de-stressing, doing all the right things, spending more time in rest and digest instead of fight or flight, is the day that your body pushes and swims against the tide and excels. And that's when you become the best version of yourself. Meditation, if you struggle at sleep, you want to make sure that you're unwinding, clearing your mind. Meditation works very, very well at doing that. If you're somebody that goes to bed and you've got so much stuff in your mind, doing meditation works, but also doing mind dumps. You get like a notebook by your bedside table, write down everything that's on your mind, dump it on the page, go off to sleep. It's on the page, you remember it in the morning. You can't do anything at night, can you? Reading fiction can help with you getting to sleep as well. So just ice cold water for 60 seconds on the back of your neck will help to get you ready for bed. very similar way that we like to sleep on a cold side of the pillow. Ice cold water in your head for 60 seconds, 90 seconds, help you get ready for sleep as well. Pool sessions, swimming, without the vending machine. What I mean by that is, oftentimes if I was to go swimming, because your sugar goes so low, is you get out the swimming baths and they put a vending machine right in front of you. Because your sugar's so low, you become ravenously hungry and want something sweet to pick yourself back up again. So if you're going to do a pool session, make sure you've got a banana or something to do after it. So avoid the vending machines at all costs. But a pool sessions are great for relaxing, not really for a workout, but just for relaxing, getting the body moving and getting some lactic acid out of the body. And also a massage, great for getting lactic acid out and loosening up the body. So that's like your, this stuff is like your invisible training, your recovery training to do as well. You do all this together, guys. This is the Fat Burner Starter Kit that will absolutely send you on your way to the best results you've ever seen in your life. So use it, it's there. Don't worry if anything's going over your head right now. I'm giving you this PDF. Excuse me. The problem when you eat nuts and seeds, sometimes they get stuck in your throat. It'll happen from time to time. So that's it, guys. I've got a golden opportunity for you right now. I'm giving you this PDF. I've got my 9-day detox, which this is a phenomenal program. Back in its day, it was sold at £67, and I'm going to give it you today for £9, purely because you've taken action. You've signed up to for the starter kit. You want help, and I want to really nudge you and encourage you in going to the right direction. So I'm giving you my 9-day detox. It's going to only cost you £9, which is an absolute bargain. And inside is your meal plans, your shopping list, and your recipes. You just print and go out to the supermarket and do it. You're going to see a wonderful result in 9 days. Not only that, for the first 100 people, act fast. First 100 people that purchase it today, you're actually going to receive a link, a Facebook link, a group, which will take you over into a group that is for 100 people, the first 100 people, and for the whole 9 days, I'm actually going to be and hold your hand and walk you through the whole program. I'm going to be there by your side, any questions or anything like that. So for those 9 days, for the first 100 people, I'm going to commit to you in those 9 days of losing, here's my guarantee, of up to a stone. As long as you've got a stone to lose, in those 9 days, we're going to go from anywhere up to a stone, and really, absolutely, we're going to get rid of body fat. We're going to get rid of the toxic water that's holding onto your body right now and just completely shed it. So in 9 days, I guarantee it up to a stone. For £9, that's pretty freaking awesome. But only for the first 100 people, guys, that respond onto this will get access into that group where you're actually going to get my personal assistance, questions, everything answered for you. So that's it, guys. If there's anything you've got to do now, is just purely take action. Success favors those that take action. You don't get anything done sitting down. You get everything done by moving and taking action. So hit me up with a message as well, guys. info@fatburnerbootcamp.com, and share this program as well. There's going to be a button. There's a button for you to purchase the 9-day detox. Click on that, purchase it, and there's also a button for you to share this page or this program with your friends. And the more that you share, guys, the more that I'll make videos like this and help you out. Obviously, I've done this completely free of charge for you to give you that kick up the ass and get you going in the right direction. So that's me, Paul Wilson, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon.